outside looking in, it's like, oh, he just always dissing his music. But even if I was, so what? You know what I mean? And just like I said, I've seen him several times, and it was a gap, and that was it. But when he got in a position to feel like he could get me, or he could get the best of me, he took advantage of it.
Taxstone has been talking to the Danza project, and he had some interesting things to say. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion with your guy Alize. Don't forget to subscribe. So, Taxstone, who's doing many years in prison after an altercation with Troy Ave and his friend in a New York venue where a gun was involved, and sadly Troy Ave's friend lost his life. Taxstone's got to sit down for a long time, and he was having an interview with the Danza project where he went into exactly what happened between him and Troy Ave, and he said some things that I didn't even know, because him and Troy Ave were beefing for a long time on and off. There's the famous statistic that Taxstone tweeted Troy Ave like hundreds of times in just a couple of years. It was kind of like obsessive. But he was probably just trolling, you know. Tax said that he and Troy had seen each other multiple times while they were having their little industry beef. And normally Troy Ave would just stay in his side and Tax would stay on his side. But on that particular night, Troy Ave actually approached Tax, and that's how the altercation started basically. But I did not know that they had seen each other multiple times, so that's why Tax was actually kind of surprised they even approached him.
I've seen him several times before that, and it's always been, yo, we need to not be beefing. There was never no beef. So I would usually dap him and it'd be over. What happened was that, you know, every time this happened, he would renege on his side of the deal.
He also let us know that Troy Ave had money on Tax's head, apparently. That was the word out there. So people were kind of feeling like it was all one-sided. But apparently Troy Ave wanted to get Taxstone knocked off.
But meanwhile, I just started joking on him because I just came from my barbershop and the barber tells me that I can't come in there and get a haircut no more because they said they got money on me. You know what I mean? And I never said that on Twitter, but I get on Twitter and just be like, yo, this is whack-ass music. You know what I mean?
But what was the reason? Maybe he only did that after Taxstone was harassing him. We don't know. Not that it's justifiable. Obviously, nothing justifies that action. He also said that Troy Ave knew that Taxstone would be at that venue, which goes against what Troy Ave was saying, that he just rocked up there and didn't know Taxstone would be there. Tax is actually kind of saying that someone told Troy that he was there, and that's why they even came to the event.
Well, he knew I was there, you know, and that was one of the things, like someone called him and told him I was there. Like, I didn't realize it until like that night, like when I because when they came in, like, I guess they seen me already because they was looking for me, and he's like, so he screamed out like it was popping. And then I looked back and I'm like, oh shit, and I said was popping back. As soon as I said was popping, they rushed me. He wasn't on the bill. If I seen him on the bill, I wouldn't have went. You get what I'm saying? I would avoid him. I always avoided him. Like, I wasn't actually looking for the issue.
Who knows who's telling the truth there though? And because it was a jail phone call, I couldn't quite hear this part properly, but I believe Taxstone said that he was hit in the face with a gun. Whether that was his own gun or he's saying that Troy Ave and them had a weapon, that wasn't too clear on the audio. He also had some words for Flakko from No Jumper.
So this is why you got people like Flakko who talk out of his mouth. But see, what I was trying to explain to Flakko was this. I said, Flakko, you're very opinionated. Somebody else that you're talking about is very opinionated. Me. Now, see, the thing is that you might have not had the chance to run into some of these people that you've had opinions about. And in our culture, just like I told you, people don't like to debate and people don't know how to debate. And when they don't know how to get their point across verbally, they want to get their point across physically. When you see these people and they decide to get their point across physically to you because they didn't like that you had too many words about them, now we got to see who Flakko is. But the point is that you're going to get put in a position where you're going to have to protect yourself because of your mouth. That's how that goes for every man who has an opinion, a strong opinion about everyone.
I guess Flakko, he adds commentary to whatever happens in hip hop. And Flakko must have said some stuff about the situation that kind of rubbed Taxstone the wrong way. Because he was basically saying that, Flakko is going to run into the wrong people at the wrong time, and he'll be dealt with for speaking on the situations that he shouldn't be speaking on. Now, Wack 100 has said something similar about Flakko. Hopefully Flakko kind of chills out, maybe, because he don't seem like a tough guy, even though he's a big guy. So maybe he should chill out with how much detail and opinions he put on things. But right at the end of the interview, Taxstone says something very, very interesting. He's asked what he would do if Troy Ave was in the room right now. If he bumped into Troy Ave again, what would he do? Now, I'm sure you're thinking, he must say that he's gonna smash him in the face, use something against him, a weapon, be shouting, swearing. Nope. He said he'd call the cops on Troy Ave.
If I had the opportunity to run into Troy Ave, I would call the cops on it. Don't get that arrested. That's what I would do. I would do everything that he accused me of doing. These are my true feelings. How I feel about people like that. The only way to win with a dude like that is by calling the cops on him and making sure that you get your complaint in first. He's one of the most dangerous men alive. Like, those are the most dangerous creatures. Those are the creatures that's going to tell you that we playing by these rules, but he's cheating the whole time.
And he basically gave when you're in the streets, some people get into trouble, their instinct is to call the cops. Like an old lady, someone who's not part of the street life. And he said, you got to deal with them the same way they deal with you. So he was basically saying, because Troy Ave isn't really about that life, and he's called the cops and he's snitched on Taxstone, that Taxstone, if he was to see Troy Ave and something would happen with him, he'd deal with Troy Ave the same way, and he'd call the cops. Now, I don't know if he's trolling. He maybe wants a headline online. It was a funny line, I ain't gonna lie. But Taxstone, he sounds like he's in decent spirits. I was kind of surprised by that, because he's got a lot of time. I can't remember how much time he's got to do. Was it like 20 years, something like that? Crazy. But this is all my opinion. I want to know yours. I'll leave a link in the description so you can listen to the interview yourself. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's Fresh Hiphop Opinion. Peace and love.